Right, so this is about a trip on the Orange River from a beautiful little village we're at here called Onsiapkans, and we're at the River Rock River Camp with my good friends Roche and Adelaine, who've taken such good care of me. The mighty Orange is behind us. It's running around 1,000 cubic, so it's really full. And the trip is from here down to where the Orange River meets the sea at Oranje. It's about 500 kilometers. Best thought of in sections. There's a section from here down through the gorge to Pella. Then there's a section from Pella to Goodhouse. From Goodhouse, probably next logical step is Fjolstruf and Noordoever, where Felix Unite's camp is. Then there's another long section down to Assenker. From there, there's a section down to Sendelingsdrift, and that's pretty much where the rapids finish. And then there's about another 100 kilometers down from Sendelingsdrift to Oranje. My friend Roche calls it the Orange River Camino. And if you are thinking of a trip like this, hopefully this will give you a bit of inspiration. It's a beautiful section of river, and it's a fantastic place to start. Easy to get to, it's a lovely camp. And so we hope you enjoy the video. There's a log that's going to make its own Orange River Camino pilgrimage. And here is the beautiful, shady Red Rock River Camp. Okay, this is the start. Little drone getting some footage. There's my team, and there's the beautiful Orange. Day one, this is the Pella pump station, and we've been going 1 hour 17 and we've done almost 15 kilometers, so the river's really flowing fast. You can see the speed we're drifting at. Beautiful. Okay, there's my happy little Orange River scene. It is 5 to 7. The sun finally went down about half an hour ago. Okay, so day one started around 11, put in below the gorge, maybe about 8 k's below. It was pretty chilled to start. River's really full, so it's wide and a lot of it is flattened out, flowing really fast. So I figure I was doing about 12 k's an hour, and if I hadn't been paddling I would have been doing 8 or 10. So it's going to go pretty fast. To Pella really quickly. There's a big pump station on the left. After that there was quite a big rapid on the right, river right, big standing waves, very loud. And then long flat sections, kind of heading, I guess, almost due west. And then we started to head a little bit north, and then I think we hit all those Pella channels, and there was a pretty clear, run through the middle. It was all pretty clear. And then there's that farm on the left with rows and rows of big palm trees. And after that, we got to this drop behind, which doesn't look too bad from here, but it makes a hell of a noise upstream, and I got a bit confused. I thought it might be the weir. There's a broken weir a bit further down. So I was arsing around on the top, and eventually I went down sideways and had a bit of a crappy swim. And washed up on this bank and thought, well, enough is enough. I mean, I started at 11, I got here around 3:30, and I'd done almost 40 Ks. So that's plenty for day one. boat was good. I would put all the solar stuff in the front so it's easy to get to at lunch. Chair's great. Yeah, it was a great day one. So let's see what tomorrow holds. Cheers for now. Day 2 on the Orange. It's 11:47. Just drifting down a bit. This morning's section was quite hairy actually. Some big, a couple of big rapids, big wave trains, very irregular waves. Yeah, lucky to stay in one piece. And then a lot of little channels. I mean, I was lucky it was fast flowing. So I managed to get through that okay. But I think we've now kind of opened up. And it's about 10 k's to, on my last trip was campsite 4 and I'm on day 2. But I started a day down. But definitely faster. That's the view down the river. And if we look at the watch, so it's 32 degrees, it's 10 to 12, we've done 31 k's in 2 hours 56, so around 11 k's an hour. Yeah, glorious day. Canoe's going good, except this thing is filling with water because so much water coming into the boat with the big standing waves, and it takes a while to drain through these bailers, and I think it's getting in there. So lucky the iPhone still works. Cheers. So this is night 2 on the Orange. We're on the Namibian side. Just trying to get a little bit of a break from the sun a bit earlier. There's the trusty malachite. It is 7:25 at night. It's finally cooling down a bit. When I say cooling down, it's about 26. Got a nice flat campsite. There's all our things. The pot of chili beef is just cooling. Okay, so day 2 was quite eventful actually, because there was a lot of big water, big standing waves. Again, lots of channels the first while, and then eventually it opened up. And there's a weir, I don't know what it's near really, but been nervous of that thing the whole trip, and I worked out where it was and I got above it and I was on the right and there was no way I could go around. The river was too full, so I had to go down. So I put some big strokes in, went down dead straight, and the boat just didn't punch through that big standing wave at the bottom. It pulled me back into the washing machine. So I had a few cycles, luckily got a breath every now and again. The boat was in for a couple minutes and the covers popped off, filled with water. Some of my packages went floating down the stream, never to be seen again. Most importantly, the second week of food, so we're on half rations. Yeah, eventually I got the boat and the paddle, but it was a nasty swim. Weirs are shitty things. And I think there are 2 left, but they are like proper portages and you can see them from a long way back. So I will look out for them. And then, yeah, I just floated down. It's really hot and a lot of horseflies in the camps. So it's actually better to stay on the water as long as you can. So I stayed on till about 4:30 and in the end had a 70-kilometer day, which is a big day. Last trip I was doing about half that, maybe 40 a day, but similar time on the water, just the water's flowing so much faster. Right, so this is Orange River day 3. So I figure I'm about 10 k's from Good House. So that first section is kind of called Pella to Good House. And it's got lots of I don't know, fast flowing water. The river goes into lots of channels, reeds, whereas here you see Orange is really opened up and it's just a big broad river, especially with all the water. And pretty much until that big weir before Fuels Drift, there's not much the next, what is it, about 100 k's. Just really pretty chilled paddling. Everything's going well with the boat. That's where we came from. Just a point about the loss of the food from yesterday. So I packed 2 weeks, 1 week in each bag. I lost week 2. But I started a day late and I'm running about 2 days ahead. And we'll probably stop at Felix's camp for a night. So I basically got to get a week's food to last about 10 days. And I did slightly overpack. So I'm not starving, don't worry. See you later. Bit of a headwind, as you can hear. So that was day 3 on the Orange. It was very flat. I was figuring out how do you define a rapid. I thought maybe if you get water into the footwell, maybe none, maybe 1, and then 2 or 3 like kind of big standing waves. A bit of a headwind, a big wide river. Did about 60 k's, so again the river's really full, boat's going well, but got a lot of sun, so I was going to go till about 4:30 and I packed it in at around 4, I guess, just before 4, because I saw there's a vision of a shady campsite. That's I've got very far. You've got to always figure out like, where's the sun going to go down. So it sets in the west and there's this big cliff behind me. And this little piece of shade will get even shadier soon. The boat is there. This is much unpacking as I've done as I've got my chair up. Because the first night I didn't figure out the sun because it sets at 7:15 here. So if you get off the water at like 4 and you're on the wrong bank, you're in the sun for another 3 hours. That's why I've been on the river later the last few days. But my legs are quite burnt. And I saw this little patch of shade, which will only get deeper. And I'm so happy I did. I'm very happy here in the shade. Yeah, it's a big wide river, hardly any rapids, a couple of farms on the right, a few pumps, but nothing really. Yeah, lovely scenery. It's the Orange, you know, so it's a lot of it looks like that. Big mountains with no vegetation, and then this thin band of riverine vegetation, and then big brown river and a blue sky. So I find it good for the soul here on the Orange. Alright, this is the morning of day 4 on the Orange. A tree floating past. That's where we've come from. It is 11:10, done around 30 k's, a bit cooler today, 29 minutes. Just portaged around the weir at the top of the river there. Had a good evening, other than the baboons were very excited by my presence. There were tracks all around the tent the next morning. had a leisurely pack up until about 15 minutes to go, and the bees swarmed around me, about 50 of them. So I packed up very quickly, jumped in the boat and went, and as a result I left the phone in one of the bags, so I just fished it out now. It's been a lovely section, so 30 k's, a big wide river, but enough little rapids or standing waves to make it interesting. There's a Goliath heron there, I think. Lots of fish eagles, and I reckon I'm about 20 k's from Felix Unite's camp, where I'm going to stay tonight, have a bit of luxury. So that's only a couple of hours, and it's 11, 12, 1, so 1 or so. Get out of the sun. Right, this is the start of day 5. I'm switching to this camera because the iPhone is a bit wet and fuzzy after the big swim of day 2. I've had a night in Felix's camp at Noorduiver, just beyond Fjolstrif, which was great to recharge a bit, get everything dry, take a break from the sun. Boats all going good, and it's a lovely section coming up, the section that they run their trips on. Not technical, but nice wave trains. And tomorrow we should get into the Richtersveld, which is also one of my favorite sections. I bought myself a new hat. Isn't that a beauty? Alright, we will catch you on the other side a bit later. Okay, so when is a rapid a rapid? And this is, it's not flat, but it's probably not going to break into the boat. There's a lot of this on the Orange. Now I'm trying to film and paddle. I'll have to edit it a bit. But, you know, little standing waves, little eddy on the right. Probably should paddle a bit. It's dog on the right. It's not even a wave train, it's just like cloppers, you know, clop, clop, clop. So I will call that rapid kind of type 1. I mean, yeah, it's, well, could say it's a different version of flat water, but let's call it rapid version 1. Rapid version 2 is more where the river narrows a bit, the gradient is steeper, and you get a kind of a big slab of water going down the middle, rough water and eddies on the right and the left, and then as it narrows to a peak you get big standing waves. There's a lot of that too. Very irregular at the bottom, I think, because it's a full river, the bottom's uneven, so it's not like some rivers you could almost go like wave, wave, wave. It's one from the side, one from the other side. Then you probably get type 3, which is where there's an obstacle like a big rock or it's curving like right to left. Shambok is a bit like that. We'll go through that today. Maybe those ones after the gorge that I did on my last trip. One is called, I think, 42 Holes. There's another one, Bugs Bunny or some kind of bunny. I guess 3 below the gorge, but would be in that category. And then there's type 4, which are the messy ones. So think of that on the Pella section that drop before the broken weir, or not so broken, the weir itself. Messy rapids, hard to scout, hard to get out on the side. If you take a swim, you're stuck in a channel for what seems like forever. And there's literally only in the 500 kilometers from Onsiepkans to the sea, there's probably, let's ignore the gorge and the ones under the gorge. Then we would say the broken one above the weir in the Pella section, then that weir where I took the nasty swim, that's 2. Confluence with the fish, which will be tomorrow, can get a bit wicked, that's 3. And there's 2 other weirs you've got a portage, one above, I don't know why I'm trying to keep straight here, one above Fjordstrup, which you portage, I think left is easier. I did right the last time, but left is easier. You definitely portage that, definitely. And then there's another weir, I think sort of towards the end of the Richtersveld section, that's also, we'd call it, I want to say compulsory portage because that's like a racing term, but it's very close to the truth. So the biggest rapid on this section, let's say from Felix's camp to Ossenker, is called Shambok. And it's always nice when a rapid has a descriptive name. A lot of rapids are, like, they don't really tell you what it is. I've been thinking about this on the river. Umkomaas rapids, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. Doozy, Umzunyati, Tops Needle. Informative names, like Dogleg on the Doozy, Double Drop on the fish. I did think of a few others. 42 holes below Onsiepkans. You wonder why they didn't give them better names. I did think of one more that told you a bit what it did. I always thought you could call a rapid Scorpion if it was like big long standing waves and right at the end it turned to the left and there was a bit of a sting in the tail. Anyway, so back to my story about Shambok. Well, it's completely disappeared. The river is so full that it is under that stuff somewhere. I mean, there was a bit of a drop, and I've got a GPS waypoint, so I know I'm past it. There's my boat. But I guess the river's really full, and I was sneaking a bit left. So that was Shambok. We ended with a whimper, not a bang. But I did think that Shambok at least was slightly literal, because it was like a short, sharp with a bit of a curve on the end against a big rock. So it's sort of gently, well, not so gentle now. I mean, you can hear the river. This thing's got a really shitty mic, so I'm trying to stay close so you can hear me without revealing the fact that I've got no clothes on because they are drying on that rock over there. So I'm naked as the day I was born, other than my watch and my bracelet. So look at that. That looks so cool. So let's have a look at the watch. Okay, well now I've paused it. So 38 kilometers, and it is around 11, too early for lunch, 11:30 I think. So 8:30, 9:30, 3 hours. Paddled 3 hours 15 and did 38 k's. So that's 38 already, another 12 before lunch, so that's 50, maybe 10, 20 in the afternoon. That's a solid day. Lovely section though. That's it for now. Lunch break, day 5. Nice shady spot. I thought you might be on the edges of your seat to know what's for lunch. Let's have a look. So, cashew nuts, re-dried after they got wet. A little bit of druivos is always good. Some Provitas and some Parmesan cheese, which lasts forever in the heat. And then one is honey and one is bovril. And that is a feast fit for kings. Tail end of this long rapid after where I stopped. Now it's a bit difficult to film the rapid when you're going down it. And you always need to have a bit of forward movement, otherwise you can't really respond. I think I'll just pick it up and drop it. Let me put it on my wrist. Yeah, it's almost been 2 kilometers like this. I'm racing that tree. I mean, that little chicken run on the right, yeah. Looks like nothing from here, but there was a nasty little pour over there at the top. And look at that. Oh, that's stuck. So, yeah, this is probably a little pebbly bank most of the time. You can see running like this. And the main channel is probably down there against that bank. And that's why here it's quite rustig. Just bobbing down. 11 k's an hour. I'll tell you one thing about this malachite, it loves an eddy, boy. It's got like an eddy sensor. Hey, can I put my nose in an eddy? Fucking go for it, but flat out. I think that tree is floating down the river. Can you see that boy there? What are we doing here? Just floating. We're doing 11. Look at that, almost going up. Yeah. Let's call it close to 12 k's an hour. That's how these days are going so quickly. I mean, that's 5 minutes a k if you're running. Used to be able to run like that. Look at those mountains. So basically, let's say 38 plus 7, 45 k's since Felix. It was almost flat until we got to where Shambok used to be. And then it's been continuous little rapids for, let's call it, almost 10 k's. I'm now facing upstream. And I think it is going to flatten out now. I'm getting a flattening out feeling. Because it's very flat before Ossenker. I remember that. Oh yeah, you found an eddy. See, here we go again. What a great section. That 45 k's from Felix down till it starts to flatten. When there's less water is much more interesting actually, because there's more little rapids and you've got Shambok. My brain keeps saying Visgat, and Visgat's on the Vaal, so I don't know why I'm thinking that, but Shambok sounds the same. We hit the Richtersveld, which is a national park on the South African side. It's taken us almost like 2 days to go through it. And we'll go past De Hoop campsite, some of you might know that. Stayed there years ago. And then it was over. Big, broad, flat. Still flowing nicely. a little bit of something with the head. I think getting to the end of Ossenker. Don't know what these things are. Bushes, trees. The vines are behind them. Who knows? Pineapples or something. Really out of the mountains now. I guess that's why there's so much agriculture. There's a spa in there somewhere that dreams of some salt and vinegar chips, but it's too late. It is. Oh, what the fuck is that? It's 4:15. That's 34 plus the 34, 36 we did. Garmin says 70.3. That's pretty epic days. Maybe another half hour. Finish around 5, I think. About 6 o'clock at night. Long day, 80 kilometers. That's pretty epic, I must say. It was a great day, interesting and nice weather. And it was meant to be about 70, but I was looking for the perfect campsite, which I found. Look at this peaceful scene. It's shady, it's flat. I dragged the boat up, so I've got a little cupboard slash table and a little fire a bit later. So relieved to get past all of that Ossenker stuff and into the Richtersveld proper. Serene, unspoilt, just amazing. I took a lot of videos throughout the day, so I don't think I need to go through all that again, but and that is about it for now. Looking forward to some delicious soya mince. Dinner tonight is soya mince mixed with a bit of oxtail soup, to which I'm going to add, because it's a special occasion, because I did 80 Ks, some chili sardines. How delicious is that going to be? So it's day 6, around 10 to 8, just set off and heading into the Richtersveld. About 30 kilometers to De Hoop campsite on the left, and then about another 10 to the confluence where the Great Fish River comes in from River Right, and then I think about another 10 to the big weir above Senderlinks. So we'll probably try and get to the other side of the weir tonight. Pretty typical kind of easy rapids, fast flowing water. Pick a line down. Oh, maybe that's a better shot. Rapids, we'll try and keep it on for some of it, maybe catch a wave there at the bottom. Big standing wave there. Don't really want to go through that, I don't think. So about the boats in the rapids, it's got 4 bailers here, 4 holes. Because when you go through a standing wave, this thing fills up completely. and then the forward motion of the boat venturi sucks it out. It's meant to have thigh straps with a kind of thick strap that goes like that. And for a rapid, you put your knees in it and you pull like that, and it gives you a lot more control to turn the boat up and down. And I didn't get those in time, so I made some. Not ideal, but oh, the fucking thing's loosening. Anyway, that's the one disadvantage of a sit-on, is that you don't get that control, you know, like when your knees are in the boat, like in a plastic. You can twist your hips, get a lot more control. So it's got bailers, you need thigh straps, definitely. A lot of volume in the nose. It's broad, so it's stable. And the curve of the hull, or the rocker they call it, the more rocker the easier it turns, even when you don't want it to. The less rocker the better it tracks straight on the flat. So it's a balancing act. I would say this one is just about right. The guy that designed it, Celius Kruger, he's a genius, so he knows more than me. Like some chalets. It's definitely before De Hoop, so I don't remember this camp. It's pretty deserted. It's a Sunday, I guess. But hot. Start of the season. It's a rapid just around the campsite. It's rather forlorn looking. De Hoop campsite in all her glory. Long rapid. Need to get a little bit to the left. Hope this thing's still running. So we're coming up to the confluence of the Orange and the Great Fish River soon, I think in about 1 or 2 k's. And I'm not sure what to expect with the rapids. I don't remember there being much, and this is the Great Fish River. As far as I know, it's dry most of the year. But the guide at Felix, Ben, said to me, "Oh, what are you going to do at confluence? Are you going to walk around?" So I've been worrying a little bit about it during the course of the morning. And the Great Fish comes in from the right. So I figure I'm just going to hug River Left and take my chances. Well, according to the sat nav, the waypoint, the confluence is right here, this raging torrent that I'm in, because the Great Fish dry valley is coming in there. And there was a bit of a rapid up above there. Maybe Ben meant the confluence section, the bit we've just done, because there was quite a lot of rapids there, but nothing too sneaky. As you can see, the up ahead there looks deceptively flat, as Rowan Atkin would say. So day 6, having a little swim break. It is 11:50, 10 to 12. You can see there we've done 44 Ks. It's 31 degrees. Looking upriver, that is the end of the confluence section. And looking downriver, there's the trusty boat. There are my clothes drying in the bush. So you can guess what I'm wearing. Actually, I'm wearing something, I'm wearing a hat on my head. So these 44 Ks from just below Ossenkur were actually brilliant at this level. Nice fast flowing water, beautiful scenery, little rapids to keep it interesting. The confluence was a non-event. It was really a lovely section. And you can take out here at the confluence, there's a road on the right there, I think it's called the C13. So I did Fjolstrup to Ossenkur in a day and Ossenkur here in half a day, so day and a half. I did that trip 40 years ago and I think we took 5 days. But yeah, we had fun. It was a low river. So this is a good time to cut in some pictures of all of that nonsense. Orange River trip 1987. I'm in the front there of the old club Foxbat through the rapids. Looks just the same. Powering through Shambok in a straw hat. Spot the old paddles before we had wing paddles. The team on a nice boulder. Boys are getting a bit hungry. Still sitting around the fire. So this is a kind of an unfinished, it's a low-level bridge. It's above the big weir. I just showed it there on the left, but it's very, very messy on the right. You do not want to be there on the right for sure. Probably not even the middle, because that's got a nasty little wave. I mean, there was okay, but it wasn't intended to be honest. But I was sneaking around the left. Forgotten about that. Here we have our beautiful Orange River. We are about 3 or 4 k's below Sendelinks. It's been very hot and I'm very keen to find a campsite. We're going to water shade and have a look at that epic day. Don't know if you can even see that. 86.7 kilometers. That's 35 degrees and it's 5 o'clock. That is an epic day. And it's not finished yet. So that's the end of day 6. There's about 88 kilometers, which is, I think, a record for me. I found a nice little campsite on a little hill here. Very little, but nice tree for shade, and I've got my chair and my juice is just disinfecting whatever the ball drops in. The weir ended up being a bit further than I thought, and when I got to it, it was not nearly as, it was not as I remembered it. And I was arsing around on the left, and the next thing I shot it on the left on a kind of a chicken run and shoot. So I took a little video afterwards, which will probably be before this one. There you have it. So my last trip I camped very close to here. It was campsite 11. So I paddled day 12, day 13, and a couple of hours of day 14. Let's call it 2 and a bit days. And I think I can get through this in a day and a bit, because those were like 40k days and we do like 80k days. So yeah, probably this is second last night on the river, and yeah, the river's from Sendlingsdrift down to the mouth is not much in the way of rapids or whatever. It's still pretty. You go through the Spiergebied, the diamond area. I don't think you're actually really meant to go through it. Maybe you can see me, I don't know. Hello. But yeah, we're just going to barrel down, and if somebody shouts, we just keep going. What are they going to do? I'm going to swim after me. So yeah, going to have a nice little dinner and get a early night. Alright, it's the morning of day 7. That little bank is where I was camping. We're leaving those mountains behind, and we are heading that way. I don't know the royal we is, me and the boat, we're a pair. Me and the Malachite, figure there's about 100 k's to Oranjemund. So we're going to aim for around 80 or so, and then leave just a couple of hours in the morning, get picked up tomorrow morning. So it should be a great day on the water. I recharged this waterproof thing, so we'll try and take a few shots along the way. Don't know about the sound, as I said, but hey ho. Oh, that means I received a message on my little thingy here. Rocher, that is perfect. See you then. 8 days. Wow, that is awesome. 8 days. Well, actually 7 and a bit. Some kind of record, I'm sure. Day 7, little swim stop on the Namibian side. Always nice to find a nice rock to stand on and a nice place to swim. There's some animals there, white things. What are they? Maybe we'll be able to see. But far away from my poor old eyes. And whatever we had, decided to, let me look at the shadow in there because I don't have anything on again. Drying out my things and had a little breakfast. So I had a before breakfast paddle. Very, very hot today. It's already 30 degrees and it's not even 9:30 or 10 or so. Scenery from day 7. Some rocks. It's really flattening out a lot. And we've done 34 k's. It's 37 degrees. It was 40 just now. And those 34 k's have been all flat. So it is flat as hot. I'm holed up in this little shady corner for a bit of a break from the sun and some lunch. And the river rolls on there. So done 47 k's and it's 20 past 1. I figure another 25 or so would be a good camp spot, and then there's about 10 k's in the morning. Too late. It is really hot. I mean, here in the shade it's 34. On the river it's 40. Luckily there's lots of cloud cover. Not. Day 7, 20 past 4. I'm having a little break on the canoe. It's been a very long day. Flat every meter of the way. And the scenery is nice. Some days you could say you'd rather be at the end than not at the end. I can't see on the screen on this phone, but my watch says that it is 38 degrees. I've done 70.7. It's 20 past 4. I reckon that my overnight when I'm heading for is on the far right end of a big sand dune. That's my theory. Now I discovered that this camera could about 5 or 6 k's. So it's about 10 past 7. This is night 7 on the Orange. Right near the end, only about 20 k's tomorrow to the mouth. It's a pretty epic day. 79 k's in the end. Oh, fish eagle. But I wanted a short morning for my pickup. And also I wanted to see what this place was like. It's called Fels. There's some ruins from the German settlers there somewhere. This big forest of eucalyptus that the Germans must have planted. It's it feels like it doesn't belong here. I'm camped way over there somewhere. Very windy still and hot. But a good day 7, although I will say that it was 79 kilometers of flat water, not a ripple in sight. But yeah, nice way to round out the trip. Hohenfels campsite on the Namibian side, about 20 k's from Oranje. You can get here by car. I see some tracks here. I thought a campsite, maybe a reception and a little kiosk with a fridge and ice creams, but yeah, none of that at all. The last little shot of the eucalyptus blue gum forest on the banks of the Orange. So one thing we've seen all the way down is this dense vegetation on either side, and you kind of got to struggle to look for a campsite. It's because the river's so full. I looked back on some old pictures, and when the river's a couple meters lower, underneath there you'd see the trunks of the trees, you'd see nice sandy beaches, driftwood. So normally you're spoiled for choice. But now the river is so full and so wide. Look there, there's the Namibian side. Oh, there's a beach. So it's really been quite extraordinary opportunity to paddle it at this level. That big sand dune. And it's very flat now in the road ahead. Really wide. We're getting closer to the mouth. Look at that. And down there in the distance you can see the Oppenheimer Bridge, which is the last border bridge, South Africa, Namibia. We've officially run out of land. That is the big wide mouth of the Orange River.
Wow. Well done.
Yes. That's a wrap for Orange River 2026. It's slightly desolate here at the mouth, but happy to have finished and happy to sleep in a bed someday. Cheers.